LLC. Mark, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you, Chris?
It's been a while. You look great, man, and congratulations. I mean, I've been watching you on LinkedIn and Facebook. You've had a great post-military journey, and I'm glad you took the time to come on to tell a little bit of story. For the audience, Mark and I were in OAF 2, so Operation Iraqi Freedom 2, back in the day where it was the Wild Wild West, and I appreciate you taking the opportunity to speak with the audience and reconnect with me and talk about, what you've done in your life and as an inspiration for others who may want to get in some of these spaces that you've been successful in. So Mark, tell the group, so where are you from originally and what you do in the military?
Yeah, I'm actually originally from Iowa, so it's kind of cool to come back and be in a small town again in Iowa. I was an infantry officer, along with you in the 1st Battalion of the 14th Infantry,
yes,
the Golden Dragons, and then Operation Iraqi Freedom 2. And then I got out of active duty in 2006, had a little bit of time in the reserves, but from there I worked in product development in several different spaces. And now I'm the owner of Kinetic Technologies.
Well, congratulations. One, it's funny, a friend of mine, actually a couple of friends, like, hey man, how hard is it to create your own company? I said, creating your own company is easy. It's on paper. It's the actual, creating it in reality and actually running it is the hard part. And that's where all the expendable calories come in. So congratulations on, starting Kinetic Technologies. It's been around for 3 years. So what is Kinetic Technologies and what area do you guys service?
Yeah, Kinetic Technologies is a robotic solutions provider. So what we do is we work with a customer all the way from the very beginning where they think they've got a job that they want to work on. So we do some upfront consultation, design. Then we do some custom manufacturing. And then we put all of this together for the customer and then install it and then service it after the fact. We currently specialize in welding automation, which is a really interesting space. Our company serves industries all the way across the board. So we've got some customers in the aerospace industry. We do some parts for space. We do some traditional aerospace parts. But then we also work with manufacturers on a wide range of things, everything from tires and rims to nuclear waste containers. Kind of run the gamut with that. So we get the opportunity to see a lot of different things in a lot of different industries.
Wow, that's pretty wide and deep. It's funny. Number one, it's all in-house, right? I mean, you guys are doing everything from concept to design to modeling and then actually in execution, correct?
Correct. Yeah. And that comes out of my experience in product development. I worked with companies before where they would have a certain portion of the developments space, but they weren't able to go from concept all the way through production and then service and support. So we want to provide our customers with a comprehensive solution. And, these automation, these robotics programs require a lot of partnership where somebody's going to come alongside and make sure that the robot's working for them.
No, I appreciate that because I've seen that in my own experience over the years, specifically since I departed the military, is when you start to sub pieces of that design from concept to design, and it gets handed off. There's so much lost in the transition. And obviously what you're trying to do, which I'm trying to do with my business is, hey, I don't want you to be a client for one service term. I want you to be a client for life. So we want to give you that full service capability. And then you got that continuity thread that runs through that. That's why I asked about all in-house because I just noticed a lot of other folks in their business space, they just want a piece of it. They don't want to own the whole apple. In this case, you guys are doing that. And it sounds like you're very wide and deep. So everything from aerospace to tires.
Yeah. And, when we specialize in a use case, that's an interesting way to approach it. So welding occurs in all of these different verticals. But when we specialize in that particular portion of it, the science behind welding, the science behind welding things automated, and then all of the manufactured components that are required for that, it does allow us the opportunity to go through and like I said, see manufacturers across the United States.
Yeah. No doubt. And then, with the company, where do you foresee, you going for the next, 2 to 3 to 5 years?
I was a co-founder of a technology company prior to this one. We exited that and sold it to a larger company. In this particular business, what we decided, my wife and I, we decided that this was going to be a business that was built on service to our community and to our customers, and most importantly to our employees. So we want to, with that in mind, we want to continue to provide long-term, like I said, Chris, these long-term, lifelong partnerships with our companies. And we want to provide that continuity so that 10 years down the road, if they've got a robot that's we've installed, they still have that service.
And Mark, I love the idea that you guys have moved in this space because a good friend of mine here locally, Rory, we talk about this, manufacturing, face of manufacturing has changed so much. And then part of our conversation with other folks is the fact that I think we're on the leading edge of the beginning of a conversation about where robotics is and where it's going. Like, we're not, the end of the book is not close. I mean, we're just starting to open the front of the cover, to read the preface to go, okay, what does this really mean? And you guys are getting in really early, so that's huge.
Yeah, I see it the same way, Chris. Some really encouraging things as a veteran and in the United States, and the excitement around U.S. manufacturing. The COVID pandemic and the related supply chain issues really highlighted the fact that we need to have domestic manufacturing capabilities. One of the things that we struggle with, frankly, in the United States is labor, and getting cheap labor in, and just the quantity. So what robotics does, what I really appreciate, is time and time again, we've installed these robots, and the end effect to the company is they actually increase the number of employees they have, but they upskill those employees. That's what I see is going to happen in the United States, is we're going to continue to increase our domestic manufacturing capability. And in order to meet that demand, we're going to, the employees are going to need some good quality help through automation and technology.
I love you calling that out, because we saw with the longshoremen union strike, a little bit over a month ago, this idea like robots and AI are going to steal our jobs. The reality of it is, when you look at not just the academics of it, but just in practice across the U.S., if not across the globe, like, no, actually, you're going to probably need some more folks. And oh, by the way, you're going to upscale your capability for training, your training and maintaining the currency of your workforce, and then actually looking ahead in your R&D in order to see what's on the horizon to potentially take advantage in comparison to your competitors. So now I appreciate you calling out, because I think that's a false number, like robotics is going to steal jobs. No, it's probably going to take away jobs which are, as we talked about off camera, are dangerous, dirty, unnecessary for a variety of reasons, but it just means your labor force is going to have to be upskilled, if I can use that term, to be successful. What's your go ahead.
Oh, it's just, the robotics, they do, and I keep, particularly with welding, the manufacturing industry has done automation through like CNC machines. Yeah. The welding is one of those last things that is like a CNC machine, where when you bring the robot in, you create much, much higher quality parts, higher repeatability. All of that means you've got more productivity, which every time this is done successfully means we need more people, and we need those people to be trained in technology, and then also they work to be more productive. So it really does end up being, one customer that we had, they increased productivity on the line by 500%. They increased their labor by 50%, and their cost per linear inch of weld went down by 63%. So, and they're paying these people more because they're robot operators, not just manual welders.
Yeah, man, that's huge. So, Mark, what we're going to do is I'm going to send you an invite. We're going to bring you back on Tech Champions. Come after the new year in 2025 to come back and tell us more about what you're doing in this space, because this is really important, for our nation, to be honest with you, and our workforce, is to understand where we're at and where we're going in order to see and take care of our communities. And I applaud you for really investing. Well, first of all, I applaud you for one, agreeing with your wife, which is always good, right? And, then, and two, investing in your community to create a company where you're kind of reinvesting back into them, and no doubt they're going to invest right back into the company because, as you know, loyalty and a good following. Because as I've talked to friends, employee retention is a real problem out there. And if you've got a great workforce that want to work for you because they believe in the mission and the objective of the company, it makes it a lot better from not just a retention point of view, but from a morale perspective too.
Absolutely.
So Mark, how do folks find Kinetic Technologies?
We're on www.kinetictechllc.com. And we've also got LinkedIn and Facebook. So we do a lot of activity on LinkedIn. Be a great place to check it.
Yes, sir. Awesome. Hey, Mark, what we're going to do, we'll take all that information, we'll put it in our show notes. We're going to encourage folks to go out, reach out to Kinetic Technologies LLC, see what you're doing. And if there's a opportunity to work with your team, I would highly encourage folks to work with a veteran-owned company that is investing in the community to make our nation that much stronger and better in the manufacturing space, specifically with robotics. So, hey, it's good to see you again. I'll be in contact.
You too. Thanks. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, folks, if you're not fired up, you must be dead. Take a look at what Mark and I are doing on LinkedIn. Connect with us. Take a look at Kinetic Technologies. What a great organization, making an impact in a variety of industries where no doubt you hear that return on investment. If you're a company owner, you definitely want to have 500% and 63% return on investment in those different areas. So, Sheriff, if you like us, see you in our next segment and live with gratitude.